Hello and welcome back to Mirror's Signal podcast. This mini series is brought to you by Talking Send with Dr. Julia Malkin MBE, which is a Patreon page where members get access to a large number of videos to help you understand your neurodiverse learners on driving lessons. This mini series is 10 episodes with Julia, going through 10 tips for teaching neurodiverse learners. I hope you enjoy these episodes. Julia, welcome back to the final episode of this mini series that you very kindly offered to do, and tip number 10. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. So, tip number 10, what is it?
Well, this is an issue that a lot of people come up with everyday conversation and in everyday knowledge of several different types of neurodivergent people. It comes most common in autism. I just call it the me, myself, and I because everything is all me orientated, and it causes a lot of problems with sense of self. Now, this sense of self takes several different factors, which I'm going to go through it. Number autism, auto, sense of self, automatic self-driving. So auto is all about the sense of self, auto in autism. So it's making a sense of self is who am I? Where am I? And sometimes this leads to what I call world distortion, which all of a sudden the person can seem to wake up and realize they're in an unfamiliar environment. It's everything's going to be going perfectly well to a certain point, but all of a sudden they can sort of realize in a second, this is happening to me. I'm in this situation. And this can cause a massive sense of overwhelm when they're dealing with this situation, when they're on the road and they're never expected to be. So this can be a massive, massive nerve shift on the driving test if they never expected to even get in that test center, and all of a sudden out they go and everything okay until all of a sudden they realise what they are. Now this is the reason why I failed my driving test the first time, is that I kind of woke up and thought, am I really with an examiner in my instructor's car on my drive? And the whole lot started folding, and it was a sense of self, as in where I actually was and what I was actually doing. And it can be quite turbulent. So look for this kind of overwhelm in a stress related situation. I mean, I was made homeless, so I had it then. I'm in a house in a strange town. I have it now. Environments are too unfamiliar, strangers, strange people, uh, differences, changes, especially sudden change or an unexpected change. Anything that can wake a person up suddenly when everything's going perfectly. I mean, this is the sort of thing you get in school exams, college, that kind of thing. I never expected to be here. Well, I mean, especially when parents or friends can say to us, "Oh, look what you're doing now. We never expected you to do that." And all of a sudden, oh, and the whole lot starts to tip up. So you got to really watch what you're saying sometimes. Oh, didn't you expect to do so and so? And then, oh, over we go. And it can cause a massive sense of overwhelm between the person we perceive ourselves to be and the person that's technically doing all this stuff. So there's kind of like there's two people all of a sudden. I'm not that person. All of a sudden, I'm this person. No, I'm not, because I'm doing so and so. I'm not doing so. So I was told to do so. So it could cause a massive, massive shift in the paradigms in the brain there, and that's a sensation as to also who we are, where we are, and we do get ourselves mixed up in what we're doing quite a lot. Another way in which it affects us is personal criticism. If you criticise the work we're doing, it can be a reflection of criticising me as an individual person. We can do that on the autism spectrum, especially when we've got the work on this side, we've got the person on this side, and the two can become kind of fused. So I always say correcting a drive and not a driver, because it can reflect back. And so rather than say you did so and so, or mention the person's name when they did something wrong, we say no, leave that out the equation. You're correcting a piece of work the person's doing and not the person themselves, because of this I scenario and who I am, making sense of who and where and what they are, They can easily get themselves confused with the work they're doing. That's another way. Another way this thing can show is if people turn the conversations round to themselves all the time. Now, this is quite common on the autism spectrum when I can open a call and I don't even need to say, how are you? It's my birthday. I'm doing so-so. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking, I haven't said a word yet. I'm thinking, whoa, 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 whoa. And they turn the conversations round to themselves all the time. And I had an instructor say to me, why is my pupil always bringing the conversation round to themselves all the time? I'm trying to tell them so something happened to me. I said, I did this. I want to do I was so something. And whoa, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. They're trying to communicate with you. They're not attention seeking. They're not doing it on purpose. They're not doing it to annoy you. They're not doing it to be rude or bad-mannered. It's just a very common thing that people in the everyday world can interpret as being very rude to always talk about themselves. Because it can happen that one of us can talk about themselves for a while, but if that world is a chaotic place out there and we feel afraid of it and upset by it, if other people seem hard for us to understand, because I have trouble communicating kind of third party, for example. Oh, if someone suddenly came to me and said, I want to talk to my friend, and the friend's grandma says this, and the friend's kid said that, I was thinking, who's who and where's what? I was so lost. So if they are exposed to that kind of world and they can't for everyday conversation, that world's a chaotic place, then what's the constant thing in their life? It's them. They're the constant thing. They have their own schedule, their own calendar, they have their own interests. I can talk about myself because I don't know how to talk about anybody else, and sometimes it isn't. It's a big gap. They can't tell. Remember, some on the autism spectrum also can't talk to the people who are thinking. And they're having a lot of trouble understanding this, what they call a second order theory of mind. They can't imagine a certain person in a certain situation because they haven't been there themselves and experienced it. Sometimes it's a memory experience they can't understand. They'll empathise with somebody who's in trouble. We always like to help people, but we'll never really understand someone else's feelings unless we're either in there or been taught all about it. And I teach a lot of people all about it so they can follow in the everyday world, you see. So until that point, when they learn to understand other people and they learn to communicate effectively, to be interested in another person, I teach all this as well. Then, until that point, they talk about themselves. And they do tend to turn the conversations round to themselves. It's a sense of self again. The me, myself, and I. Who am I? What am I doing? I'm doing so. I can tell her about that. I've got something to say. I can join in the conversation. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to communicate with you. The best that they can possibly do to their often limited ability, depending where the spectrum is going to go on. Well, it is social interaction and social communication and social imagination, what they call the triad of impairments that cause all of this. The sense of self. Who am I? What am I doing? Where's my place in the world? Can I understand everybody else? No, I'm in trouble. Can I understand what they're saying? Sometimes, but not very often. Do I have anybody close to me I can associate with and ask for help? No, there isn't. What about that world? I'm frightened of it. I can get scared in certain situations. I get overwhelmed in other situations. I get stressed in other situations. And other times I'm blinded by the lights and driven by the sounds. And I am trying to function in your will, for goodness sake. So you ask me, tell me something, and I'll try to say, but what can I talk about? Me. And so that is what they do. They talk about themselves, and it seems rather rude to everyday people having just butt in and because I can open a call and someone can say it's my birthday. That's the first thing they're saying. I haven't even asked them how they are or how the session's planned out yet, or what we're going to actually do in that session. They can just butt in and say something like that. I'm doing this. I've just done so and so, and I'm thinking, whoa, hang on a minute, because that throws me out. But I've got to prepare to get thrown out because they're trying to communicate with me in the only way they can, and that's to talk about themselves. So it can be rather distressing to people on the everyday planet to think we're being rude, to think we're being attention seeking. And sometimes it can seem rather immature or babyish or whatever you like to call it, but they're making a sense of self, saying, "This is me. I'm presenting myself to you. This is what I am doing." Uh, as a kind of almost a opening sentence. So rather saying, "Hi, how are you?" we're saying, "Hi, this is me." It's a different way of communicating. Sometimes it really is, and so this is very different to the way everyday people react and respond because of these communication problems that we've got with social imagination interaction. And so sometimes it might seem blunt, it might seem rude, but if somebody starts to do that, either on first contact or doing a lesson or something, they're bringing the conversation back and they're thinking, why are they turning it back to themselves? And showing no interest whatsoever. What other people are doing? What other people are up to? They are interested, but they try to understand by turning it to them first, to state their opinion first, and then they're open to everybody else's. So it's just their way of communicating. It is different, but it is not done intentionally to be rude, blunt, or attention seeking. So that's the world of me, myself, and I, neurodivergent style, and the different ways you might come across it in your car.
So, what I would like to do to finish this mini series and this episode would be to get you to talk about you, yourself, and you. And maybe if you could just tell the listeners what services you have to offer and where they can find it, how they can access it.
Well, I don't have a website, unfortunately. One day I'll be rich enough to afford one, but I'm sure that Josh will put the email address and phone number. I'm also on the Facebook under Excel with Julia Malkin MBE. You'll find that on the Facebook page and on the numbers on the WhatsApp as well, so people can send their WhatsApp. We've also got you've got Facebook. We've got main Facebook pages, Patreon, of course, with the video service. So there's a lot of ways in which people can contact. First of all, there's the NCAR training for ADIs, and that's very, very good. That's what they call the Revolutions course. It's won the Prince Michael Award for Road Safety back in 12, and very, very good quality course in kind. Then there's the workshops that are due. So if you're a member of an association, a group of driving instructors, or friends getting together, they can do workshops 1 day, 2 day, any subjects members want to bring. Then there's the one-to-one training over the internet. Doesn't matter where in the UK you are, you can do live one-to-one training, and there's courses of different training types available for you. Then there's the files that I've designed and created. So there's a lot of material that can have reference. There's things you can give out to your pupils to help them. There's a lot of material I've got out there. And then, of course, there's the Patreon videos on the Talking Centre, quite a few services.
Excellent. I will get all of that information.
Yeah. Still services being designed now. There's always things being designed here.
There is always something new. So, yeah, we will get all of your socials and contact information in the description. I expect you'll be back for a full episode again at some point. But for now, on this 10 tips from yourself, Julia, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And I will speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So thank you for listening or watching that episode. If you would like more information from Julia, or you would like to learn more about teaching neurodiverse learners, you can find all the information in the description, or you can sign up to the Patreon membership. Just search for Talking Send with Dr. Julia Malkin MBE. Thank you.